KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Coming up on Primetime, Guam closes out fiscal year 2021 $62 million over. Nestor Lecanto breaks down the numbers for you. Plus, the head military leader on Guam wants to maintain open dialogue when it comes to cultural and environmental concerns relative to defense construction. And KUAM's Daniel Perez has more on the team from the Centers for Disease Control that is heading to Guam.
Happy day, everyone. I'm Hannah Devonzo, and welcome to Guam's Primetime. With an economy boosted by more than $1 billion in federal pandemic assistance, the government of Guam ended the fiscal year with $62 million more than it expected. Nestor Lecanto takes a look at the numbers.
$62,057,397. That's how much extra general fund revenue GovGuam collected over its projections. The newly released Consolidated Revenue and Expenditure Report from the Budget Bureau wraps up fiscal year 2021, which ended September 30th. It shows that all of the extra cash, $82.57 million, came from income taxes. The breakdown, $14.72 million in individual income tax collected, $22.8 million in corporate income tax, and $44.9 million in withholding tax. In contrast, gross receipts taxes fell short of projections, with business privilege taxes off by $14.4 million. But the report drew a quick reminder from Speaker Therese Terlahi that $20 million of that excess revenue should be earmarked for tax refunds. In a letter to Budget Director Lester Carlson, the Speaker wanted to ensure that the additional $20 million is appropriately recognized now instead of treated as excess at the end of the fiscal year. Senator Amanda Shelton has also already earmarked $25 million of that extra money to pay for half of the governor's recently announced Local Employers Assistance Program. That still leaves about $15 million, and Republican Senators Frank Bloss Jr., Tony Atta, and Chris Duenas just happened to introduce a bill yesterday giving the governor transfer flexibility to increase the LEAP program by another $12.5 million. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Late today, the Speaker furnished a copy of Budget Director Lester Carlson's response. He said upon further consultation with the governor's finance team, he will not be changing his report. Speaker Terlahi has since written to the governor pointing out that the $20 million set aside for tax refund is part of the budget law. She urges the administration to make the change and have it reflected in the Consolidated Revenue and Expenditure Report. An apparent error in the recently passed local war claim bill could mean that claims could be filed regardless of the date of death of the claimant. The measure by Vice Speaker Tina Barnes and Senator Jim Moylan was supposed to limit claims to the 700 or so applicants who missed out on the federal war reparations process. During session discussion on the bill, Speaker Therese Terlahi motioned to amend it to state, regardless of time of death, thus opening the door for many more potential claims. But her motion was ruled out of order as materially different by Appropriation Committee Chairman Joe St. Augustine at the time. However, due to an apparent clerical oversight, the amendment made it into the version that was sent to Adelup and signed by the governor. Speaker Terlahi says they are consulting legal counsel to determine what to do, but she adds it will still be up to the body to decide what actions they will take. Still no word on when the administration's Homeowner Assistance Program will kick off. According to the Department of Administration's Deputy Director Bernie Guinness, the program is still awaiting federal approval from the U.S. Treasury. The Homeowner Assistance Program would mirror the administration's Rental Assistance Program, which offers relief for rent, utilities, and internet services, but the Homeowners Program would be for those who do own a home. Guam was awarded $13.5 million for the program and received 10% of the money up front to start prep work and will get the balance of funds when the program is approved. Guinness says if Treasury approves the plan with no major changes, DOA could have it up and running as soon as possible. The top military leader in Guam is pledging more open dialogue with the local community, especially over cultural and environmental concerns relating to defense construction. Rear Admiral Benjamin Nicholson says there may be differences in priority, but they will continue to plan and execute the Marine relocation in a responsible, collaborative, and transparent manner.
The commander of Joint Region Marianas has penned an editorial about maintaining open and transparent dialogue and upholding laws to further protect and preserve natural and cultural resources. The lengthy op-ed piece went into detail about how the military has and will protect and monitor any remains or artifacts it comes across during the massive construction related to Marine Corps Base Camp Blaz. Rear Admiral Benjamin Nicholson was also a guest on KUAM's The Link Show, where he further addressed misunderstanding and transparency.
There seems to be a bit of confusion as to why we do things in a particular manner, and I just want to clarify that a little bit. So we take great care to ensure that when we are doing construction or when we discover any sort of remains or any sort of archaeological finds, that we do the utmost to protect that.
He says one of the ways is to have properly trained archaeologists involved in the process, along with Guam's State Historic Preservation Officer. He also addressed public access to archaeological sites.
So what it means is that we really don't want anybody just go into an area to take a look, because they may not be trained and they may actually cause damage or harm to the areas. So we're very protective of the exact locations of where things are found, specifically for that reason. I know that has a lot of frustration, so we're looking at different ways that we can better communicate this to the people here of Guam on exactly what's going on, so there's no confusion about this.
The Admiral's comments follow a closed-door meeting earlier this month with senators in which he gave them an update on the progress of the military buildup. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
We're heading to the legislature now, where a public hearing was also held on a bill that would require all charter school teachers to get the same certification as Guam Department of Education instructors. Joining us live from the island's capital, KUAM's Isaiah Uggan.
Thanks, Hannah. The genesis of the bill started with the Guam Youth Congress, which authored the legislation. Senator Amanda Shelton introduced it on their behalf. Guam Youth Congress Representative Al Labang opened the public hearing with several others who signed up to testify. Here's a portion of tonight's testimony, starting with Labang and Helen Nishihara, the Chief Operations Officer of iLearn Academy Charter School.
Why I introduced Bill 161-36 is that I think we need to improve the quality of our education on our island. Decades of research shows that students of certified teachers learn more compared to other teachers who are not certified. Studies have also found that positive impact of having certified teachers is even greater for minority and low-income students. Requiring charter school teachers to be certified is not a new idea, because other states within the United States are requiring some form of certification for charter schools, 37 to be exact. Recently, California.
Listening to Mr. Labang, and he has good intentions. And so rather than flat out and say no to the bill, I think it's a good opportunity to have further discussion. But I want to share what iLearn has been able to do even without this bill. iLearn was the first public school to obtain accreditation within its first 5 years of existence. The Accreditation Commission for Schools, Western Association of Schools and Colleges, had reviewed our policies, our teaching methods, our test scores, and many other things, and granted us the accreditation, even though only a small percentage of our teachers were state certified. WASC was able to determine that iLearn was a school that could provide equitable and quality education for our island students.
Nishihara also testified that almost all of her teachers are certified. The hearing is still underway. Meanwhile, we spoke recently with Career Tech High Academy Charter School Principal Dr. Juan Flores and Island Academy Charter School Chief Academic Officer Rachel Stake, who both aren't in full support of the bill because of funding. They say it will affect the hiring authority and it will be difficult for them to pay teachers certified instructor salaries. Although they aren't in full agreement of the bill, they aren't against certification either. They actually suggest that it should be up to the charter schools to decide what kind of certification should be required, which best fits their implemented programs for their specific schools. We have also previously reported that former Senator Dr. Judith Wampat, who originally authored the charter school law, says that she intentionally wrote the law to not require certification because it's cost prohibitive. Now, island residents have 10 days to submit their written testimonies. You can submit the written testimonies by emailing office of Senator Shelton at guamlegislature.org. Reporting live from the island's capital for KUAM News, Guahusi Isaiah Uggan. Back to you in studio, Hannah.
Thanks, Isaiah, for that live update. The Guam Department of Education is faced with a $25 million budget deficit for fiscal year 2022. To address the shortfall, the Guam Education Board recently gave GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez authority through a resolution to find additional funding sources and areas of savings. Fernandez said Wednesday they plan to address the deficit by using American Rescue Plan funds.
We will be sitting down with our federal programs team to go over the reimbursement, not the reimbursement, but the use of the American Rescue Plan dollars to support our operational needs.
The U.S. Department of Education gave the green light Friday of GDOE's spending plan. Fernandez adds that other ways they plan to address the shortage is to readjust their staffing to account for the lower enrollment levels. GDOE is already looking at about 2,500 in reduction of students enrolled this current school year, but they are still working to get an official count out by the end of the week. Last year, GDOE's enrollment was over 28,000 students. Fernandez will have to report to the board in 30 days presenting what actions will be taken to address the budget gap. GDOE has seen budget cuts ranging between 12 to 15% since 2018. Following up on a story you heard first on Primetime last week, Public Health provides more information about a team from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention that will be on Guam within the next week. Daniel Perez reports.
Public Health confirmed through a media release just before midnight on Wednesday that the CDC has committed to sending a team to Guam at the request of Director Art San Augustine. According to the release, the team of deployers is being sent to support case investigations and address the dead-on-arrival cases related to COVID-19. DPHSS Chief Public Health Officer Chima Mbakwam.
The mission for this team is to investigate the risk factors of COVID-19 transmission and severe diseases on Guam. And this is despite our high vaccination rates, and also look at our strategies for testing and how to expand our capacity, our surge capacity. And also the primary objective is, like you said, is to conduct an investigation to assess the common characteristics of transmission and severe disease amongst those that were classified as dead on arrival.
From the beginning of our current surge on July 8th to October 19, 2021, there have been a total of 39 dead on arrivals out of 83 COVID-19 deaths.
It's just taking a deeper dive, to look at what would actually have happened if they had similar comorbidities or there are similarities, in what happened to them.
The CDC team's arrival follows others from the federal government that have deployed to the territory to assist with our COVID-19 response.
This is just not CDC. This is about HHS, ASPR, and any other FEMA, any other federal partners that we leverage to support us. Like right now, we have the FEMA team on ground, helping us with our monoclonal treatment. We have the FEMA team on ground that is helping us with the vaccination. So it's an ongoing process for us to, ask for boots on ground or, sought for technical support when and where we need it.
The team from the CDC is expected to arrive on October 29th.
I know that there are 3 people that are slated to arrive next week. The number might increase, because we are expecting a senior epidemiologist, we are expecting a lab subject matter expert, and also a public health advisor.
Additionally, 3 clinical laboratory scientists from the U.S. Public Health Service arrived last week, while one who arrived in September was extended for another 30 days. The 4 clinical lab scientists will continue to aid public health at the DPHSS lab in Tamuning. The governor's former chief medical advisor is hoping a CDC team will visit Guam and uncover answers about Guam's rash of dead-on-arrival COVID fatalities. Dr. Hoa Nguyen is the former head of the Physicians Advisory Group, and he says public health's effort to reach out to positive cases needed to be examined.
Either we failed to reach out to them to offer the monoclonal antibody, or we didn't identify the risk factor.
Dr. Nguyen also said the CDC team should investigate Guam's breakthrough case rate, which hovers around 30 COVID infections per 1,000 vaccinations. The doctor has said the current surge, which is stretching into its 13th week, is unique in its longevity.
Just need to figure out what did we do wrong, because like I say, everywhere else in the state and the island, that if they have somewhat a decent vaccination percentage, that their cases are going down, and our case is still kind of hovering 100 and with 10% plus positivity every day for a long time. That's a big concern.
DPHSS Director Art St. Augustine requested assistance from the CDC, and that request was granted. The CDC team will look at our high case rates and high numbers of DOA COVID deaths. Once again, we invite you to voice your view on our social media with our daily question. Today we asked, should Guam reinstate a mandatory quarantine for incoming travelers? Let us know in the comments below. We will share responses on the link tomorrow with Chris and Bree. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Yaman, reintroducing the Tuman pans with plenty rice. Every day of the week, Tuman Jamaican Grill has a special for you for $20. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays features jerk chicken and ribs. Thursdays, the sweet and tangy Jamango barbecue ribs. Friday, check out what we caught for you in our fried local catch. And finally, our weekend family platter is only $50. That's $9 off. Yaman, Tuman pans. Call to order 647-3000 or 4000. Yaman Jamaican Grill.
Yaman serious food.
100% truck, 100% Jeep. Experience next-level off-roading on your new Jeep Gladiator, the most capable off-road midsize pickup truck crafted for adventure, equipped with best-in-class towing capacity, legendary 4x4 Jeep capability, and backed by Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Drive home in a 2021 Jeep Gladiator today, starting as low as $315 per paycheck during Jeep Adventure Days. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com to get pre-approved online today. Terms and conditions apply. Cars Plus, driven by you.
We found out in May of this year that our son had a rare medical condition, and he could not seek the treatment he needed. Our specialist recommended that we travel, or well, the only means of travel was via air ambulance.
I can honestly and truly say that Calvo Select Care is really the healthcare that is always there for us.
Calvo Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you. Contact us today.